When I first started dating my high school sweetheart, girl, I was so naive and delusional. I thought we were going to be together forever. Instead, the relationship turned out to be very tumultuous, very trying on my mental health, very taxing on me emotionally. The relationship did not last forever. So the summer after my freshman year of college, the relationship was over. We had tried. We both went through different stages. People change. People are not gonna stay the same. It's really like almost a toss-up to see if they're gonna go to the left or they're gonna go to the right. With me and my ex, it was one of those things where so many things had already went to the left. By the time it was over, he was trying to be more serious than I was, and I was really out the door at that point. My emotions and my feelings for him had been completely altered, and my drive to stay in a relationship was no longer the same. The relationship taught me a lot, and I would say the first thing that I really think is so important if you're in any relationship, whether you're in high school, college, you're a grown adult woman, whatever it may be, is so important to know yourself. And in knowing who you are, lesson number one is knowing your worth, because what you accept is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. In that relationship, I accepted so much disrespect, and it was really genuinely because I was, at the time when we first got together, I was 14, he was 16. I had a toxic home life at that time in my life. There were a lot of things that were going on at my house. And so being 14, being naive and being young, I thought that, okay, here's my Prince Charming. He's going to come save me. He's going to come take care of me and all the things, right? And that is definitely not what happened. But in the midst of trying to see if that would happen, I went through a lot of things with him. I accepted a lot of things from him that were a reflection of just how I felt about myself, just how low my self-esteem was at the time. So because what you accept is a reflection of how you feel about yourself, it's important that your actions communicate what you are willing and are not willing to accept. Your actions need to communicate how you feel about yourself. You want to make choices that show, hey, I value me, I value my time, I value my energy, I value my body, I value my overall existence, I value me as a person, as a woman. You want to make those type of choices that communicate that, because men can see if you don't love yourself, if you don't value yourself. There was a lot of dishonesty in that relationship. I didn't trust him. And that leads me to my second lesson, which is trusting your intuition. Trusting your intuition is so important. Your intuition is that little voice in your head. If you believe in God, I like to think of it as that little voice is God speaking to us, and then that other voice is, our flesh or our personal desires, or the devil, if you will, in some cases telling us to do things or engage in things that we know are not good for us. Now, I'm not saying by any means be one of those girls who's delusional and making up random scenarios in your head because you're insecure, because we all have been there, okay? Trust, we've all been there. But what I am saying is trust your gut. If your gut is telling you that something's not right, then 9 times out of 10 it's not right. And I would just say lie and wait for it to come to you, because all messy stuff, all dishonest things, all betrayals, I mean, not all, but most of the time, they'll be revealed in their own time. Like, somebody's gonna slip up, somebody gonna say something, the girl gonna get tired of being hidden, whatever the case may be, it's going to be something, you know what I'm saying? So it's just best that you just lie and wait. So the main thing I say is identify your inner voice, listen to her, because she's rarely wrong. She's rarely wrong. There has been limited situations that I've been in where my intuition steered me wrong. Like my intuition ain't never steered me wrong, because you won't lie to yourself. I want to also say it's important to maintain your identity in a relationship. I started my relationship with my high school sweetheart really young, so I can honestly say he was able to place certain things in my mind that I think I would not have cared about, or it wasn't really a focus for me until being with him. I ended up adopting some of those things just because I wanted to please him, and just being young, you know. As our relationship progressed, the lack of trust and then my own insecurities, it just was a recipe for disaster. I mean, I literally just some days really felt so unlike myself because I was so consumed with him, especially at the point where, you know, we were trying to like live together and he was still entertaining other girls, and I was still trying to make it work because I had left home to just to try to be with him, and he just wasn't following up on his end, and it just put me in a situation where I just felt very lost. I felt unlike myself because I've never been the type of girl where I'm gonna just let somebody like play with me, but in this relationship I definitely let this man play with me. Like, I let him play with me so bad. So that also brings me to my next lesson, which is to review actions, not statements. Men gonna chirp, chatter, talk. Men actually talk and do a little more of this than they want you to believe. Men will say anything to keep you if they feel like there is a value in keeping you, especially if they're a manipulator, especially if they seek to use women. If you've got something that you can do for that man will keep you around, and he will lie to you and say, hey, I want to do this. Hey, I'm going to do this. Hey, I'm going to change that. And he don't change it because he was never going to in the first place. He was just saying that to get you off his back. Oh, I really say, like, examine what a guy says and compare it to what he's done. So if he says to you, yeah, you know, I'm gonna start being more considerate, and then time goes by and he's still being inconsiderate of your time, he's still doing things or engaging in behaviors that you've expressed that you don't like, that's a sign. Also too, and for career wise, if he always is having issues in his career or with money, which is a whole separate video that I could talk about, because I have dated a lot of people who they start off up, and then while we in a relationship, things start going down, girl. If he's always having problems with his career, always having problems with money, and he's always got an excuse, look at those excuses. Examine those excuses and compare it to his actions, because his actions gonna show if he's really been trying to get to it or not. If he's saying he don't got no money, but he always in a club every weekend. If he's saying he want to be a father and he wants to help you more with the kids, but he always in a club or always going out with his boys, or you can't never get him to do anything around the house, there will be signs, there will be things that show you that that person is not being truthful, and they just saying things to you. Those actions gotta line up. Every action that you do has to be part of what you told me you was gonna do. For me, for yourself, for the relationship. If you got kids, for the kids, you know? So, all in all, you know, I have so much like experience and different stories that I can share just about this relationship alone, but I just wanted to come on here and share some of like the most valuable lessons that I learned during that relationship, because girl, it was a mess. So as we close out, I just want you beautiful ladies to remember, know your worth, participate in actions that communicate how you feel about yourself, review actions and not statements, okay? Look at what he does, not what he talking about, all right? Maintain your identity. The minute you start feeling like unlike yourself, you feel like you're losing yourself, you need to examine what's going on around you and determine what thing is causing that feeling inside of you. And finally, trust your intuition. You would never lie to yourself, okay? Now, like I said before, I'm not saying be delusional and insecure and make up random scenarios that's not really going on. I'm not saying that. But if you know, you know. Trust your intuition, okay? I love you guys so much. If you enjoyed the video, definitely hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I have so many more videos to come, and definitely stay and check out my shorts if you want to, girl, which I know you want to, because why wouldn't you want to, girl? It's so fab over here. Why wouldn't you want to? I will see y'all in my next one. Love you.